Hi, this is Bhushan Mahajan. Today we are going to walk through some concepts of JavaScript as well as React. Now, here in this slide, we can see we have three statements. The first statement starts with where, second statement starts with let, and third statement starts with const. Using where we can declare a variable. We did it in JavaScript. Using let we can declare variable. We have done it in Angular. Using const also we can declare variable. The specialty of const is you cannot change the value. In this case, Bhushan is the value. You cannot change it if you are using const. But if you are using where, you can change it. If you are using let, yes, you can change it. Here we have a function fun1. We normally write function fun1 bracket argument bracket and then curly bracket. Within curly bracket we write the body. But if we want to use a function in React, we can write it like const fun1, which is the function name, then three symbols equal to bracket arrow and then curly bracket and body. In the first line, if you see, there are three symbols equal to bracket and arrow. Bracket is empty because we don't have any argument. Let's say I have an argument x. In that case I will write equal to bracket x arrow. If you have two argument x and y, then we will write equal to bracket x comma y bracket close arrow, and after arrow there will be a body. Before equal to there will be a function name fun1 in this case. Here three lines are written. First line says const fun1 equal to name, then arrow, and within body I have written return name. Means first arguments only one argument name is there and only one return value name is there. In second line same thing I have written, but there is no need of argument bracket since we have only one argument. If you have two argument, then bracket is necessary. If you have only one argument, no need of bracket. In third line you see there is no bracket as well as there is no curly bracket, there is no return statement. And the reason is that if you have a single argument, no need of bracket. If you have a single return value, no need of return statement. In fourth slide, I have three variables which we want to declare either by where or let or const. If I use const, what will happen? Const a equal to 10, which is a primitive value, integer value. Const b equal to array, because square bracket is given, that means it is an array having three elements 10, 20, 30. Then we have third variable const c having object x colon 40, y colon 50, z colon 60. Now within this file, but the file name is myware.js. Within this file these three variables are declared, but I want outside exposure. I want to use this variable outside the file. So how to do that? Use the keyword export default. If you use the word export default, you can use this outside this file. How to use that? Export default A, export default B, export default C. Now I have exported all the three variables outside this file. Now how to use it? So if you want to use it in your main JS file, you will have to write import curly bracket AA from myvar.js, or import curly bracket bb from myvar.js, import curly bracket cc from myvar.js. So in this case, you can give any alias name: A as AA, B as BB, C as CC. It is actually needed here, but I forget to write A as AA, B as BB, C as CC. That should be there within the curly bracket. This is a class person. Within person class, I have a constructor having body, and within the person class I have a constructor as well as a method name is my method. So constructor always have a body. You know the purpose of constructor: to return a to create an object and return that object outside, for outsider. And obviously method that contains some business logic. So if I want to declare a person class, this is the way how I declare. Now I want to create an instance of that class. Then how to create instance? So last two lines, if you see const instance equal to new person. New is ultimately calling the constructor. New keyword is ultimately calling the constructor of person class. If I want to call a method of class, how I call the method of class? So I say instance dot my method. Using instance only you can call the methods of class, because it is not a static class. Okay. I have two classes, RGB and UVW. Can you see? UVW extends RGB, means there is a concept of inheritance. And when you say I want to use inheritance, that means you want to extend parent, then you have to write compulsorily super in the constructor. Means within the constructor of child you are explicitly calling the super constructor or constructor of the super class. Okay, this is very important and very essential. Then only your inheritance will be applicable. This is a class person having constructor. This is the way how we use this variable, this dot a equal to some value. In ES7 new versions of JavaScripts, no need of this dot a, it automatically maintain it. So if you simply write a equal to 10, it's equivalent to this dot a equal to 10. I have a array const a equal to 10, 20, 30. I want another array b having repeated value of 10, 20, 30 plus some new values like 40, 50, 60. Now I want c variable. I can use dot a. What does it mean? You are copying the values of a as it is and you are using it. So instead of writing 10, 20, 30, if I write dot a, same thing, same purpose can be achieved. And rest of the value you can append like 40, 50, 60. So dot a means all elements of a. Here dot is called as spread operator or rest operator. I have a function having argument arg and body. I don't know how many arguments I have. Let's say I have multiple arguments, then I can write dot a arg. So dot means even if it is 5, 10, 50, 100, doesn't matter for me. Okay, it can access whatever values you give. Okay, and you can consume it with the index like fashion. Here also I have const p1 having key and value pair. Whenever I say key and value, whenever I say curly bracket, it means it is object, not array. In array you have a square keyword, in object you have a curly bracket. Square bracket in array we have a square bracket, in object we have a curly bracket, and along with curly bracket key value pair. So name colon max is a key value pair. If I want to use p1 as it is, then I will use dot 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 p1 plus some other key values like age colon 28. I want a third variable const p3 and I want to use p2 in it, so I will use dot 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 p2 comma some other key value like subject colon Hindi. So in this way I can use the spread operator or rest operator. Okay, here I have again used rest operator args, spread operator args, and within the args if you see after bracket the body says return args dot filter. Now filter is very essential. Within filter I have written x such that, or arrow x equal to 15, means for each element of args, maybe 10, 20, 50, 100, how many elements I don't know, but whatever it may be, it will always check whether this condition satisfy, and if yes, then only it will return. It will return the value, or it will return the x. So here I have provided in usage section, if you see, I have provided 5 values to function 1. 10 value does match with 15, no. 25 not match, 35 not match, 15 match. So it will return 15. It will not return 10, 25, 35, it will ignore simply. But it will return 15 since the filter match. So in this case A is having 4 values 10, 50, 45, 25. I want to split the values. So it is called this destructuring. Means array is now splitted. Okay, p q r equal to a. So p should represent the first element of a, q should represent second element, r should represent third element. If there is another variable w, it should represent the fourth element. So p means 10 here, q means 50, r means 45. It is called a destructuring. Similarly, in case of object, now this was a case of array, this is the case of object. In object we have 3 different key values: name max, age 25, subject Hindi. If I want to do structuring, I have to choose 3 variables nas within the curly bracket on left hand side and equate it with the biodata variable. So n will contain max, a will contain age 25, I mean the value, and s will contain Hindi. So always this variable contain the values and not the keys. Okay, and you can choose any name. Here I have a variable any number. Okay, it's an array actually, 1 2 5 7 8. These are 5 numbers in array. I have an object also having key value pair and curly bracket, num1 10, num2 50, num3 80. I have a normal variable const anywhere 1050. You may use where, you may use late also. Don't use const always. Const means value is not going to be changed. Once it is set, it will be there. So in case of these three variables, these are called as primitive variables because these are the actual values, okay, which are copied within these locations. Now reference means they don't contain any value, but they contain the address or a pointer, like const anyref1 equal to any_num. So all the values of any_num are not copied to any reference, okay. The values are within any_num. Any reference is just pointing to the location of any_num. Any ref1 is a reference and it is pointing to the location of variable any_num. Similarly, any ref2 is pointing to location of any object, and any ref3 is a reference which is pointing to location of anywhere. So in this way we can see that reference variable is created. Here I have used a map function. First array is created, const myArray 50, 60, 70, 80. Then I use a map function of using map function, and I have given argument x such that return x by 10 means map function also takes x, and x represent every value of my var. Let's say you have four values 50, 60, 70, 80. So map will create another array using each element x, okay, such that x by 10, it will do x by 10. So if you use console.log n, what output you will get is 50 by 10 5, 60 by 10 6, 70 by 10 7, 80 by 10 8. So this is the basic introduction. Thank you. This is Bhushan Mahajan, your host.